Welcome to tonight's therapy session. Um, I don't know if you noticed, but I've changed the background a little bit here to make you guys feel a little bit more comfortable about today's topics. I did bring a whiteboard, a clipboard here to help out, facilitate things, and just put some help you guys through this time. But let's start the session out with some positivity. Um, the Avalanche are playing again, and the Nuggets are playing again. How do you guys feel about all of that?
Thank God. Thank God. I mean, that's all I can say is thank God. Um, it goes without saying. We'll get into the Broncos in a little bit, but my heart, I think, me and Sacker's hearts are so hurt that to have a little bit of time and joy with the Nuggets or the Avalanche, either one of them are a joy because they got a chance to win every single night. Whereas to our boys in orange and blue right now, it's almost the exact opposite. We have a chance to lose the chance to win every game. Like every single game we've lost, we were in it and just you knew what was going to happen at the end. So let me just say it's a pleasure watching the Avalanche and the Nuggets and escaping for a little bit every now and then. Especially since Will Barton got traded. Thank God.
We couldn't make it 5 minutes without mentioning Will Barton, even if
Hey,
he's on the Wizards now.
yeah, we hadn't discussed that yet, so I had to get one in on there. Good luck to you, Will. The thrill.
Happy that the Avs are back and they're looking pretty good. Had a big win on Tuesday against the Rangers, and then Nuggets
Mm.
beating the Lakers last night. So
Yes.
I watched.
they're looking, yeah. So
Shootout for the Avs. That was awesome.
yeah,
Good
yeah,
point. That was
yeah.
awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So far, can't complain. Can't complain about the Avs or Nuggets. I'm very thankful for them because outside of that, sports in Colorado are kind of grim compared to when you look at the.
Well, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say in regards to the Nuggets because I know I thought you guys were probably thinking about this too. But tell me you weren't worried about Porter seeing him go out with a little back spasm or whatever he has, man. Like,
Well,
oh my God,
yeah, I won't
makes me
panic.
cringe.
I won't panic until I see until if he's out tomorrow night, then I'll start to be concerned. But
Doctor said he needs a backiotomy. Why doesn't he just go
right,
get a backiotomy and come back and just rip it? You know what I mean? Like he's one of
this
my favorite players on the Nuggets. When he's healthy, man, he makes us an instant contender in my opinion. Not like he's still got holes in his game on defense, but I'm talking about his 3-point percentage, his jump shot,
ridiculous.
the fact his rebounds are up to like 6-7 rebounds a game now. And once he gets some assists down, which he should be getting from watching one of the best big man assisters in this game's ever seen. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
back-to-back MVP Jokic. So I'm excited about that. Go ahead, Doctor Bob. What were you writing down over there? Give me a break, bud. What is going on?
I'm sticking with positivity. Obviously, the Avalanche are also they're doing well. They've had a little misstep here or there, but again, it's just the beginning, right? Like I'm not worried. I don't think anybody else should be worried, and it's really a non-topic at this point. So
It's so early in the season.
Sure,
Landeskog not playing, having that
that's a
knee.
big thing.
That's yeah, but I mean he'll be back by January and whatnot. So
Yeah.
and they're still playing relatively well. Um, so yeah, it's early. It's either way. I mean, it's early. So I'm.
What was the full diagnosis of his? What was his
Yeah,
full injury?
well, if you remember, in March of this year, he missed like the last month of the game of the
Yeah.
season,
Yep.
um, because of a knee injury,
Yep.
and had surgery, came back for the playoffs, and I guess
He
that knee is
re-aggravated that
still,
injury, right?
yeah, apparently,
I just
yeah.
didn't know how like what they designated it. Did they say like it was torn or it's like
No, they
um
don't speak too much about
they don't?
what
They
exactly
just
it
say
is.
he's out until
Yeah,
January.
he had an arthroscopic knee surgery, so
Okay.
he's gonna be
Yeah.
out.
That stinks,
They said
but
3 months, 3 months essentially.
yeah. If
So
we're, I think, come on, we're the Stanley Cup champions. We're loaded as far as on
right,
offense, and
exactly. They're
we got a great defense too.
right.
The thing, like, if we can't get through, carry him like he's carried us over the years, which we should be able to do, I think we'll get him back right in time. When we go on our run, and
Right, exactly.
yeah, we'll be doing some work. What we need to really,
Exactly.
really think about and hope that keeps carrying through is our goalie, man. I mean, our backup goalie from New York. You saw the other night; he actually didn't play that bad
He's
against New
not
York.
he's
I was
not
pretty
he's
impressed.
he I don't think he's the backup.
Oh no, no,
For
I
you,
mean, I'm sorry. I
oh,
meant
New
New
York,
York's
the
backup.
Rangers. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
Sorry that we got from them. Yep.
yeah.
He kind of impressed me in that game. I'll tell you that because my son and I were watching the game and it went to a shootout. And of
Mhm.
course, I might have put a couple shekels on that game, a couple dollars, something like that, like I do every now and then. But yeah, man, what a game and a shootout.
Yeah,
Going from Nathan McKinnon missing our first guy. You always, I was like, I knew he was gonna go first. I'm like, we're gonna count that one. He missed. Their best shooter missed second. Like we were calling who it was gonna be. Long story short, goes to the fourth. Nice. Rodriguez came through with the clutch. Deke and got it through. And we ended up winning it. But I was impressed by our goalie that we got from them. I thought he did pretty decent. So we'll see how far he goes and what he does if he stays decent for us.
Yeah, it's early, and that's
Yep.
the thing. It's super early for both teams, and the excitement
yeah.
is there. Tyler, you can start us off. How do you feel about everything that's gone on since we talked last about when you guys first got Russell Wilson?
I think you can just look at this face and it says it all. Just stare at this for a second.
Just pain.
Pain, that's interesting. Tell me about your pain, Sacker.
God, such bullshit. A lot of the issues that they have on offense, honestly, talk and just reading articles and whatnot, is honestly the same issues that they've had offense. Even though it's a new coaching staff, it's kind of the same issues. You have an offense that wants to do one thing. They want to spread you out with three wide receivers, and they can't do that right now with the
Mm,
offensive line issues that they have and the Tim Patrick again. I mean, they have not had Patrick, Sutton, and Judy healthy at the same time in 3, 4 years now. So they want to run this three wide receiver set, and it just they just don't have the personnel to do that right now.
the horses to
Yeah,
make it work.
yeah, right. Yeah, whatever,
Hmm.
doctor. Um,
Oh my god, man.
For
um,
me, it's losing Javante. Losing Javante
oh yeah,
for
that's
me
true.
was the biggest loss
That
for
is
your
true.
offense
I agree.
because they
Why are
had
you pointing at your paper right there, Bob? You know you're like drawing something over there. You didn't even write anything down. You looked like you were drawing like a
it's
horse
I'm
over
taking
there or
I'm
something.
taking notes. It's okay.
Okay.
You'll see.
Javante was not written down on that piece of paper, but whatever. Keep going. He was playing tic tac toe by himself over there.
I know, right?
So,
Go ahead.
yes, I love the commentary here.
I don't. I
But
think you got a little bit of a point there, Doctor. It would have been nice to have a couple more games to gel together. And Russ could see what could work and what couldn't. I would say that might have gave Hackett um, little bit more for him to be able to succeed. Obviously, I think that would have helped him a little bit more, in my opinion. But hindsight's 2020, and who knows what would have happened with our offensive line. Our offensive line is not really protecting much for us, and I don't really think having those games would have changed too much because I think Hackett needs to change the game plan. I think he needs to let Russ do some bootlegs. He needs to let Russ get out of the pocket. He's not supposed to be a pocket passer. He's too short. He can't see over our linemen or those D linemen. He needs to get out and be Russ of old. And I'm not saying it's all Hackett. Hackett, I think Russ kind of stops himself from rolling out sometimes and even taking those runs when he should. I think he's taken some runs lately that I'm happy he had, and it kind of brought back the Russ of old a little bit. But he needs to get outside the pocket. He needs to roll out. He needs to do some bootlegs, or else he's not going to be as successful as he was in Seattle. His game plan, Hackett's game plan for Aaron Rodgers has to be different for Russ. They're two different quarterbacks, and it's got to be different. So I think that's what you're seeing happen here. And I think you had a good point with Javante. Javante was a stud. He was supposed to be our bell cow. He was supposed to carry us through those games, those 2 3 point games that we lost, which is like 3 or 4 games, 3 games that we've lost within, you know what I mean, single digits, one score games that we could have won. So this could be a way different season right now if we had Javante. You got Fumble Gordon, who hasn't done too well for us, and then you got Latavius. But I'm willing to forgive Melvin if he gets his act together. I'm not one of those Melvin haters. So yeah, that's where I'm at on that. It's been rough. It's been really rough, doctor. Can you prescribe me some pills to get through this at all?
We're getting there. I'll give you my
Okay.
doses and my treatment.
Just
Um,
sleeping pills to get through the games if it keeps going that way. You know what I mean?
Well,
you
We're
know,
not
the
gonna
you
get
way
don't
your license
the
you
taken
don't
to
away.
need
be
sleeping pills for that. You just
you
watch the
don't.
3 drives, maybe 2,
Okay.
and
So,
then
oh, that's what you. Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
You know
that
what?
that that
first
that's
2 readouts
honestly
it does it,
that's
and then you'll
honestly
get
what
fine.
works. Yes, yeah. Honestly,
Yeah.
watching the Broncos is actually that'll put you to sleep for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
You're right. No medication
I
necessary.
I I kind of think Bob kind of hit the nail on the head in terms of um
And that's
Javante being
doctor,
out.
please.
Yeah, doctor, whatever. Whatever. Um, you look at the Broncos are essentially running the same offense as Green Bay and the Rams, two teams that are also struggling, by the way, in part because in part because they that offense is predicated on the running game. It's the Mike Shanahan type offense.
Yep.
It's everything's based off the running game and being successful in the running game so you could get those safeties to try to stop the run, and that's where you get the play action. And that's all three of those teams, Broncos, Rams, and Packers, have had offensive line issues and or they're not running the ball as they should. In the
As
Broncos case,
effectively. Yeah.
as effectively, yeah.
Okay.
That's my frustration with this team is they're still
Yeah.
trying to do stuff that's not working.
And how does that make you feel, Sacker?
Oh, shut up. Oh my god, I hate this so much.
Dang, dude, it got to be like I would go to a Chiefs. First of all, like I would go to a Chiefs shrink anyways. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you would
exactly.
be,
Like
you would be the
seriously.
reason why I would go to a shrink would be
Right,
because of you. Yeah, because your
right.
team and my team. I wouldn't be talking to you about it,
I'm
you biased
honestly,
bastard.
you know what? I'm not even mad, to be quite honest. It's more disappointment. I'm not. I'm not. I'm really not that upset, to be honest.
Yeah, we're just used to
Maybe
it by now.
apathy. Maybe apathy has settled in,
Yeah.
where you just really. It is what it is at this point. I mean,
So, Tyler, Mr. Unlimited, I know
Mm.
we've talked about the Broncos, but we really haven't covered the man that shirt, the jersey that you're wearing right now.
Drew Lock. No, this is definitely not a Drew Lock jersey. It is Russell Wilson all the way. I'm still riding. All right, let's ride. I'm
So
still riding.
you're still riding that train.
Yep.
Um, wow.
I have to, bro. We have 245 mil. I can't jump off the edge right now. There's more. There's more things that go into it other than just the quarterback. You know what I mean? This is this is
That
uh
was
this is a
but
tragic.
that was the thing that we had been talking about for years now.
It
That
is.
that
It
was
is.
the problem with the Broncos is that they didn't have a quarterback.
Yes.
And then once they
And at
got
this
that
point,
quarterback,
yep.
then things would change. Now,
Hmm.
I am definitely as surprised and a little shocked, to be honest, about how poorly that the offense has played. I mean, I drafted Russell Wilson on my fantasy team. Like I expected him to
Oh my
go.
gosh.
so because you drafted him and Javante Williams on your
Mhm.
team,
Yep.
yeah, I think that's bad luck, sir.
Well,
Yeah,
You
I
might
would
be
say
the
that's a
you might be
classic
the
jinx.
you might be the blame for all this. Just saying.
it could be,
Oh,
but
it
what I'm
goes without
thinking,
saying.
well, for me, what it comes down to is so Tyler, this is a question for you. So last week, Brandon McManus he missed an extra point, and then he missed a field goal right after, right?
You
So do
say
you?
that with such
So
glad
let- so
with such happiness
so
in your voice.
when he missed those, did Brandon McManus miss those because your mother spanked you when you were 5?
You know, That might have something to do with it. I'm not gonna lie. I
Oh
don't know
my
if it
god.
was that. I don't know if it was that, or just not being fed on the regular. You know what I mean? Um, not knowing when your next meal is gonna come from, everything like that. That's exactly, it goes into Brandon McManus missing that, shanking that, and the extra point for that matter. So I can't believe that you were the one to discover this, if anybody, Bob. But you hit that right on the head.
I am a doctor, and I do
It
have
shows.
a lot of I have a lot of experience with these sorts of
Yeah,
anomalies
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
sports fandom. I'm getting close to having this prescription ready, but it's not quite there yet. The other thing that I want to know is where does this team go from here?
Man, well, I'm always an optimist as far as when it comes to my Broncos. That's it. That's probably the only way I'm optimistic. In other cases, I'll just jump to the negative. My beer's half empty at this point. Like, it's not half full; it's half empty because I need another one. Or another shot. It's half empty. Like, that's, I don't know why I gotta throw the alcohol analogies in there, but
And it's probably
um,
not even good alcohol at this point, right?
oh, it's anything you can get your hand on at this point. The Broncos are making you sniff glue at this point. You know what I mean? Anything you can get your hand on, a Sharpie marker, anything. So no, honestly, where we're going from here is we're gonna go whoop Jacksonville. I don't know about whoop, but we're gonna win this game. What I see here is, and this is definitely remaining positive. The next 3 to 4 games are games that are all winnable. Honestly,
Mm.
will we win them all? I would like to say, I hope so, but is it going to happen logically? Probably not. But this is the stretch of games that if we had any bit of a chance to do anything to even turn the season around, let alone, I know this is a far cry. People probably saying there's no way we're going to get to the playoffs, but you win 4 or 5 of these games, and get with 500 or above 500, you're realistically not the trash that we are right now. So um, these are winnable games. Like I said, Jacksonville, you got Oakland. We're not going to let Oakland sweep us this year and beat us both times. You got Tennessee. That one's going to be a little bit tougher. I mean, I forget. There's one more game in there out of the four. Carolina,
Carolina.
Carolina. Yep. Carolina. My son just told me, but the problem is with that, you never know which Carolina you're going to see. You're going to see the Carolina that just beat Tampa Bay and kicked me out of my damn Survivor League because I picked freaking, you know what I mean, Tampa Bay to beat Carolina, the worst team in the league, and then Carolina beats Tampa Bay. Are you freaking kidding me? But
Let it
off
out.
of that subject, I know, yeah. Well, I figured if I could vent to anybody, it would be my horrible psychiatrist, Dr. Bob. And but anyways, yeah, I think we can do this. So I'll remain optimistic. I think Russell turns it around for this next game. I don't think he's going to play fantastic by any stretch, but I see him doing enough to get us the dub, and our defense carrying us as they have, you know, this whole season as of right
A
now.
win, a win in London. Interesting. Okay.
Yes, yes.
And Mr. Dennis,
Okay, let me just put it this way. On Saturday night I'm going out to a Halloween party.
You're going to
And I
drink
am go
heavily.
Yes. Exactly. I will be drinking heavily to the point where I will not be watching Sunday's game.
Oh my
Um
goodness.
yeah, that
You're not
uh
watching the Broncos game. You're going
no,
to be so
I'm
drunk
not.
and hungover.
Yes, exactly. I am not.
Mm.
I spent my Saturday afternoon watching the Jets game. I deserve this, to be quite honest.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna have
Um,
to. I'm gonna have to watch for you.
that being said, until the Broncos show something, some form of an offense, I don't have much confidence that they could beat anybody at this point. So,
you're in a safe space, Sacker.
You're lucky only like 4 or 5 people watch this, Sacker. You know what I'm saying? If that, and 3 of us are on here right now.
I think they'll beat Carolina. I think okay, I'll say 1-3 in that stretch. They'll
One and
find
three.
a win somewhere in there, possibly against Carolina.
You're giving us
But
1 and 3. My God,
yeah,
man, you're hanging out with Dr. Bob too much,
no, I'm
Sacker.
not. I've seen this offense for the last
I know. I understand. Like
year,
Bob
and I
said, you're in
mean,
a safe
I
place.
just don't see. I mean, oh my god, I don't see where. I mean, they gotta show something.
I'm gonna put my clipboard down and tell you what I think.
Please, yeah, put your drawing down there.
I've been to the last couple home games at the Broncos for my job, and just trying to gauge the feeling of the people at the game, not just in the suite, but at the game, right? And so you at the early on there was a couple thousand no shows, not that big of a deal, and then there's like 6,000, close to 6,000 no shows this last home game, and the telling thing that was for me is seeing just people walking to their cars, before the game's over. Like there's still a chance for them to win. Even the overtime game, people were like, "Nah."
That
Like,
was the ugliest game I've ever seen in my life.
right. So there's that
That was
game, and they're just like, "We don't even want to hang around, even if we
no,
win."
I don't blame them at all for leaving. That was ugly. I
Here's what I'll say. Let's get optimistic about this team for a second.
Bravo.
So let's.
Nice. I appreciate that, Tyler.
There's a light at the head of the tunnel. So
That could be a train, sir.
there, with the craziness of how bad the offense has been, they're still coming and showing up, right? So this is something that you guys can hang your hat on because, again, even despite the record, you guys are still doing a lot of things well. Um, it's just, it's again, it comes back to coaching. Is the coaching keeping you guys from actually winning these games? Is it a lack of talent on offense? Is it Russell Wilson? Is it Mr. Unlimited? What do you guys think?
You said a lot, Doctor.
Yeah, well, did he really? I mean, like he just kind of rambled a bit,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Bob does.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That was kind of a ram. Yeah.
Rambled incoherently about how horrible our offense was in different ways. But
It's very interesting. Now,
Bob,
Sacker,
you're not writing anything. Go ahead.
I have one final question before I make my diagnosis and give you my prescription of what we should do next. But what would you like to say to Broncos country at this point?
Patience, guys. I think a lot of patience. This is not going to turn around quickly, or it's gonna take some time. So that's all I could say. Just a lot of patience right now.
All I could say is heavy drinking. Honestly, that's
That helps too.
yeah. I mean, like, listen, it's time to put on your big boy pants and it's time to go out and get blackout drunk. I mean,
Hot
during these
water,
games.
lime margarita, not just for
The
good times.
That, that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. But the problem is that Dr. Bob over there has been sitting on that for like the whole podcast. I would have had
Mhm.
like 4 of those down already. This is what I'm talking about. If you're a Broncos fan, you need to be heavy drinking, which I'm talking about having like 4 or 5 of those, couple shots.
Yes,
Um, like there's
that's
things
what I'm
that we're
doing.
gonna need to do.
That's what I'm doing
Yep.
Saturday night. So
See, you gotta just put your big boy pants on. It's time to start doing keg stands. It's time to start doing shotgun and beers. It's
yep,
time to start, you know
yep.
what I mean, doing those shots with this on the ski. It's like all of them on the ski, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
just take them all at once. You know what I mean?
The ski shots. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and just you take all of them on the ski yourself. Just not even 4 people with you, 4 or 5. That's what you need to do. That's what we need to do to get through these games. And honestly, that's my suggestion. And in my opinion too, is you just got to keep hope alive. For me, like, this wasn't gonna unfortunately um, happen and get fixed that quick. We all thought it, that would be awesome if it would, and I let out a little hope that it would, but obviously knew there was going to be some growing pains and gelling issues, and that's what's happening right now. So we've been used to it for 5 or 6 years, 7 years already. I think we gotta kind of just bite our lip and drink heavily. That's it, man. That's all you can do. There's still a little bit more time.
Cool.
Go ahead, Bob.
You have anything
Let's hear
else?
this. Let's hear this.
Let's hear this. It's
Prescription gonna
just
be like jump
listen.
off a
So
cliff or something.
I know, right? Exactly. I mean,
Prescription gonna be
all
just
right. What's
murder
your
yourself,
what's your
like start
bullshit?
eating people, like I
drown
don't
yourself in the toilet.
yeah, like do what you gotta do. No, so me and Tyler, well, and Sacker have known each other a really long time, but me and Tyler have also known each other a long time now. And the way we met was through our mutual like love for the NFL, but also we were on opposite ends, right? So like Bronco fan, Chiefs fan, right? And at the time, the Chiefs had like Matt Castle as quarterback, like Tyler Palco. We've had terrible, coaches and quarterbacks and all that. And so when I met Tyler, I was getting, there was a lot of people that were like all on the Broncos side. Oh, the Broncos are way better than the Chiefs. And, for it's been a long time. That's what it was. And it was tough. Like it sucks when you feel that like chatter coming from a team from fans that are actually better, right? Like you don't want to hear that, and you don't want to hear that from a rival either, right? So like yeah, like it was tough, but like it comes and goes, it ebbs and flows, and it depends. And like I feel like it's come kind of full circle for me with the Broncos because I've seen them, since I was a kid at their height, right? They've always been good. Like they've always had these winning seasons and more whatever Super Bowl appearances than losing seasons, right? Like that was the big thing forever. And yeah, like and that with the Bronco fans is made Bronco fans spoiled until now. Like now you guys understand what it's like to support a team who hasn't won very much. Like they'll show glimpses here and there. Like for me, like my golden age, like I was watching Tony Gonzalez, like Trent Green, and then defensive players like Eric Berry, right? Like Eric Berry was a stud. Justin Houston, Tom Bahali, like Derek Thomas, like all these players, right? But I was never talking about like a full team that won a Super Bowl. Like that was never my conversation. As a Chiefs fan, it was always like, yeah, we have these awesome players, they do good, but like, let's not talk about their record. It sucked. It sucked for a really, really long time until recently, right? But even still, like I'm still like nervous every week. Like every week I'm like, oh, because of I feel like when you've experienced the failures of your team, whether it be coaching, whatever, bad luck, um, you have a better appreciation for when they actually do well. And so now I'm still scared shitless every week the Chiefs play anybody because they lost to the Colts, right? Like we both lost to the Colts. That was terrible. Like you should not lose to the Colts. Like neither of our teams should have lost to the Colts. Like for whatever reason they were a really bad matchup and a lot of crazy things happened on both games. But but yeah, I mean, I get it. Like I'm not here to talk shit. I'm just here to say that like I'm glad that you guys understand now how what I had to go through for like most of my life. Like 30 you well, and the thing is, you guys really haven't had to go that long. Like you had your Super Bowls in the 90s when you were teenagers and you're like, yeah, like back to back, like let's do it. And then you had 2015, which wasn't that long ago, right? Like I know it feels like a long time, but in reality it wasn't 50 years. Like the Chiefs had to go 50 years. Like like my dad barely remembers it. Like so it's been good as a Chiefs fan, but what I would say for you guys, like, I don't even know if I should even show you this anymore. I'm kind of talking myself out of it because it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, let's see it, Bob. Let's see this thing.
All right.
Oh my god. See,
Oh gosh.
I freaking
Yeah.
knew it, man. Look at this, dude.
So
What an artist. What an artist.
so all I'm saying
Oh,
is that like for those of you that are just done, like there are a lot of teams out there that you can support and pledge your allegiance to if you feel you need to get on a horse and ride into the sunset and find something new. What the fuck, Tyler?
That's
So
right.
is that
That's right, baby.